Yeah, I think patriarchy is a great thing. The issue comes with terrorism. I think people conflate the two things, especially when you bring in the white man. You talk about historically what they've done. That was terrorism. I wouldn't consider that patriarchy. The framework it exists in there. They were the head of the terrorism, but that wasn't patriarchy. The definition of patriarchy is simply a system of society or government in which the father or eldest man is the head of the family, and descent is traced through the male lineage. It's a social system where men have authority and power over women and learn about origins for. Okay, so with all that said, like patriarchy provides for men to be chauffeurs. Can you hear me? Patriarchy provides for men to be chauffeurs, bodyguards, financiers, chivalry, all the things that are extremely beneficial to women come through patriarchy. If you remove that, you'll have the biggest sassy apocalypse you ever had in your life, and women would not want that. Even with the removal of some of it right now, it's a huge complaint about how men are nowadays. The first, like feminism, like women should be able to have equal rights and be treated with respect and all those things. I think people tie tyranny to patriarchy in a way that you want to dismantle patriarchy, and it'll be at the expense of women to do that. You'll lose so much more than you gain by trying to dismantle that. Just so much more. The expectation for you now to go have to see what's going on, go bump in the night. I don't think you want that. The
No, they don't want that. They don't
like
want that because saving Private Ryan was one thing. It would have been saving Private Nisha. They want they don't want the World War One, World War Two, all this other shit. It would have been crazy, man. You got to understand, man. The world we live in, man. The fact that women gotta fix their mouth to even come against that a man's leadership and his. You got to understand with his leadership, we sacrifice as well. Like a lot of the shit we did, building a place for women to thrive in and be safe in. We created I'm not gonna call it a utopia, but for just for example reasons, we created a utopia for women to be here, live, thrive, love, have families, be protected. And then we got a portion of these women that will literally turn their back on everything that we accomplished to set up a society where they can thrive at it and turn their backs on us. And it's legal for you to do that.
I think that
Imagine.
I think
Go
that
ahead.
people are confusing patriarchy with toxic masculinity because that is
Toxic
what
masculinity ain't even a
we
word.
don't.
Hold on. Let her finish, y'all.
I feel like that is what we don't want. Most, like he said, most of us as women, especially those of us that have been married or that come from big families and have fathers, we're used to having our patriarch or our matriarch of our family. So we're comfortable with a manly. I tell people all the time, I don't want to pump gas. I don't want to take out the trash. They don't do any of those things that a man should be doing. I do them because I'm here, but that's not technically what I want. Why wouldn't I want a man to lead? So I think that people confuse that. I think they confuse the two things because even in the beginning, when you said the lady said something about Europeans created this. No, they didn't. They were literally cavemen. Like, I don't know whether the concept that they created this term, they didn't. People were doing that before when they were still in caves. Like the indigenous people had systems of hierarchy. So I don't understand where that whole thing is coming from or why we're trying to even give them credit for having created that. But I do think that most people, I know I'm from down south, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. So we respect the patriarchy. We want our men to lead. We believe in chivalry. I told people all the time. I told a guy, like, you have to court me. He didn't even know what that meant. So, but I believe in all of those things. So I do agree with you, gentlemen. Like, to take that away, I don't know. I feel like society would crumble. Like, what would we do as women? I don't.
Just imagine Ukraine if all the men said, you know what, fuck this. And they laid down their rifles and said, hey, these women gonna have to come back out.
Yeah, the problem I think that a lot of us are having is the complaint that women have in this video and just in particular isn't everything that comes with that. When they're referring to patriarchy, they don't want men to run shit. That's the thing. They would love it if chivalry could coexist. Women are still going to be hypergamous. They still want you to be stronger and faster and smarter and everything else. They just want to at least co-run the ship. And that's what it is. Women don't want to be told what to do by a man, right?
That doesn't sound fair though, what you're saying.
Well, listen, I ain't done, and that you gotta, let me get it in, so at least you know where I'm going with this.
Pause.
But that's what we're talking about. They're at no point does a woman want to be stronger than you. They're not. That's not what turns them on, right? They don't want to be. Even if they feel like you're smarter than they are, then they would likely be more attracted to you. They don't want any of that. They want all that to coexist. But when it comes to management, more women are going to vote for Kamala Harris than Trump. They do believe that women should run shit. And that's just what we're looking at. When it comes to management positions, women will gladly do that. They're not going to get down in the crawl spaces with homies. They're not going to be plumbers. They're not trying to work at the railroad. They're not trying to work in the mines. They're not trying to be bricklayers. But will they run shit? Absolutely. And that's what women want. They want to be able to run shit. They want to be able to be in charge and shit. The problem is a lot of times, there's that responsibility and its relation to authority. That's where we start to get a little bit shaky. So we just have to understand and try not to conflate the two, because women are fine with us doing all the grunt work and everything. There's a lot of women that just want to have the power without putting in that grunt work.
Another thing about being in the patriarchy or being a leader in a leadership position is everything is your fault at the end of the day. I don't think people line up to understand how you have to accept everything falls on you at that point. If we were in a truly matriarchal society, the women would just be to blame for every single thing that occurs at all times, the way men are. I watched the presidential debate with the Brett Barr interview, and they was asking her about immigration, right? And it's clear that they had some real trouble in the immigration policy, because they was talking about these 5 girls that got killed due to the immigration and letting people in that shouldn't have got in. And I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, this is an easy answer to smoke. All you have to say is, yes, we made the mistake of not vetting people and doing XYZ, and we plan on doing better moving forward. It was almost like she just refused to admit it. And I've seen men that won't take accountability either, but that's just an example that just popped into my head, like right off the bat.